Hi, I'm Roy Fujisawa, the sole developer of Project Zoetrope. I'm the chief programmer, the lead designer, etc. etc. It's a one-man project at the moment. This video aims to showcase the end goal product of this project, a little horror game I'm working on called Haunted Within. I'll be talking a little about the progress I've made, any obstacles I've encountered, and any other thoughts I've had while showcasing new gameplay features at its current state in development. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is the lighting in the game. I knew from the design stages that I wanted to make it 2D with a retro pixel art style, so in order to have that and still maintain a gloomy horror atmosphere, I developed a custom 2D lighting engine. This engine uses shaders and pre-baked render maps to simulate 3D lighting on 2D images, making the sprites pop out from the screen. This is used in gameplay as well. From the flashlight used by the player, it needs power, and without it, it begins to dim and flicker. Enemies affect all lights in the room when they have a chance to appear, which we'll hopefully see later. Next up is a feature I've recently implemented in the game, Melee Combat. Pressing the combat mode key, by default the Q key, places you in a combat mode, and clicking the left mouse button in this mode sends out a hit detector in the direction you're moving. All melee attacks have a duration, meaning you cannot move for a certain period while the attack is in effect. A sort of swinging the weapon kind of thing, as it were. This applies to enemies as well. All enemies have a small window where they will stand still to attack you in their own AI routine. Players with quick reflexes can avoid damage entirely by kiting these and exploiting these small windows, either by fleeing or killing the enemy. Now, this is an instance of where the player can find items in the game. This is an example item, one of the many in the game. This is a battery for your flashlight. You can see that the lighting engine on the item is in effect, so if you look at it from different angles, the reflection and the mapping works out pretty nicely so that you get this really cool lighting effect. And when you go to pick it up, at the moment it just says that, but there is an inventory system currently in development. Once you've picked it up like that, you press the button to collect it, and once you have it, you can use it to, in this case, replenish battery power. So at the moment my battery power is at about 50-48%. Once I put a battery in, it jumps it to 65% and you get a much better view of your surroundings. Okay, so this is an example of enemies and combat. All rooms have a system where every few seconds it randomly decides on a type of enemy to spawn in. The room also chooses a position in the room that acts as a trigger. When the player is near it, the game warns you of the danger via visual and audio cues. These cues differ with the enemy type. In this case, the lights start to flicker randomly. This mechanic allows the player to avoid conflict with careful movements, guessing where the dangerous area is and skirting it. Once enemies have spawned, however, they will immediately hunt the player down. How they do so depends on the enemy type and their AI routines. In this case, the spawned enemies are known as friends, and will move close to the player before exploding. If the player is caught in the explosion, they will take minor damage, meaning multiple explosions in quick succession can be a quick death. However, friends also follow the core combat mechanic of attack duration, where they will remain idle for a single second. This gives you an opportunity to either run away or quickly attack, where the friend's low health will mean they die harmlessly. Haunted Within originally started as an idea to make a survival horror game in the spirit of the Silent Hill series, as well as the earlier Resident Evils. I wanted to use the atmosphere, the psychology to scare you, rather than the usual boogeyman in the closet style of jump scares that we see in so many horror games today. The plan was to have it be slow-paced, tense, really pressure the player to be cautious and wary throughout gameplay. Many design aspects have changed since then, dropping some desirable features due to time constraints. But I'm hoping that when this is over, when this project is complete, Haunted Within will stay true to the original vision I once had. The product's current state at the moment is far from finished, and I will continue to work on it until I believe it is what I want it to be.